Alright people, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Ricardo. Today I'll be answering a question which I've been asked very frequently over the last 5 years. Why did you migrate from Jamaica? Why did you come to London? Why would you leave a nice tropical island like Jamaica and come to the cold, grey streets of London? Yeah, even the Londoners asked me that. The reason number one, there was a constant feeling of feeling overworked and burnt out during the week of my shifts. And that was merely just due to the patient load that we were doing. It was just really busy. And it wasn't that we were understaffed or anything, we were just working really hard. And coupled with the fact that the work schedule was very demanding as well. There wasn't really any wiggle room to do anything else.
What exactly do you mean by demanding work schedule?
Well, demanding in the sense that if there were 4 weekends for the month, I had to work 3 weekends of the month. And it's not a case where, well, I could obviously choose not to work those weekends, but naturally, if you don't work those weekends, then you get less money. And if you get less money, then, Reason number two, the salary. The butter people. It was just not enough.
Where is the money, eh?
The salaries were not enough to match the high cost of living of Jamaica. And I did my research. I'm not just talking out of thin air. I did my research. For our counterparts in foreign countries, UK, Canada, they were getting significantly more than we were. And yes, cost of living is high abroad, but it wasn't matching up, and I felt like we weren't being compensated enough for the level of work that we were doing.
So when you say they were making more money than you, are you talking about double?
More than double. More than double.
Triple.
Yeah. And even when you factor in the change in the cost of living, I think moving to a first world country to practice is a beneficial move from a financial point of view. In healthcare, I felt like we never had enough opportunities to grow in a profession or to develop our skills in the profession, and that was due to the limited resources that we had. Limited resources, limited technology, we just never had access to certain things.
So you had more opportunities to develop skills or train?
Well, to be honest, I was given one opportunity to develop my skills. I was sent to the UK actually, sponsored by Chain of Hope and Shaggy Foundation and everything. Big up Shaggy, anyone there. They sent me to UK to train for 3 months. We were building a cath lab and I got to develop some new skills, which I am really appreciative of. So I came back, we were working there for a while, but after developing those skills, I was still not able to practice those skills as often as I would have liked. Going back to the fact that I mentioned before, just the limited resources that we had. Another reason now, number 4, which I'm pretty sure this reason resonates with not only people in healthcare, the feeling of living paycheck to paycheck. Don't get me wrong, nobody that suffer. People, nobody that suffer. But I felt like the demands of society with the rent, the car loan if you have one, the increasing cost of food, by the time you do all of those things, it's like your salary just disappeared. And you just let it bleach into the next paycheck like this. Wondering where did your money go? You understand? I felt like that lifestyle wasn't sustainable for me long term. As an ambitious young professional, it wasn't sustainable for me long term. Which rolls into my next point. If you're living paycheck to paycheck, then obviously you're not really can save that much money. And the man always say it's not what you're making, it's what you keep. And if you can't keep that much money, then what is the point? I felt like I just wasn't able to save enough. I wasn't able to save as much as I would like. So with that being said, if you're not able to save enough money as a young professional, then how are you going to acquire assets? If you want to save to buy a house, you want a nice car, we all want nice things. Most young professionals, you're either saving to buy a nice house or a nice car. With the housing market in its current state, and even the state it was in at that time, not many young professionals can afford a home. How many young professionals with, I'm not saying just starting to work, but 3 years working can afford a house? 2-bedroom, minimum, 2-bedroom house. Let me know in the comments, how many of you can afford that after 3 years of experience, obviously, because you're going to need some time to save for it, obviously. I'm not expecting you to be buying a house after your first year of working. It's not feasible. But it's just not set up for us to achieve that. The system is not set up that way for us to achieve that. not based on a recurring salaries that we were receiving.
So transitioning to a foreign country and earning the actual foreign dollar, a young professional per se like you could afford what kind of home or what kind of condo? Are they limited to just an apartment or a condo?
Well, no, there's more flexibility to achieve those stuff in first world because it's all based on credit. That's the first thing. And once you have good credit, you can afford almost anything you need. And housing is much more affordable in the first world. You can afford a 3-bedroom house with much more ease. Likewise, also, those prices that are being quoted in US dollars in Jamaica now, when you're making a higher currency than the Jamaican dollars, you're in a much better position to do so, to achieve that. Because those US dollar prices, clearly, they're not designed for the locals to achieve them. Clearly not. Because how is it possible? I don't think it's possible. As I grew older, I was in Jamaica for a while, majority of my life, obviously. I had a change of my goals and ambitions, and I had timelines set to these goals, which I would like to achieve. I wanted to travel, go to Europe, I wanted to achieve certain assets or obtain certain assets within a set time frame. And I just felt like staying in Jamaica was limiting my capabilities to do so, which is another reason why I had to step outside of my comfort zone and seek greener pastures. The healthcare system. I feel as if the healthcare system, it wasn't really made a priority for the government. There wasn't enough investment in the healthcare system because oftentimes we as healthcare workers, we were working with limited resources. And we were oftentimes labeled as being inefficient, which is true, we were inefficient at times, but that was because of the hand we were dealt. We never had the resources that we would have liked to be more efficient. People complain, they might wait long. It happens because everybody is being overworked. They already don't have the resources to work properly. So it's a domino effect. Just one example. From an imaging point of view, I felt like Jamaica should have been in a position now where our imaging is done digitally, where somebody comes for an X-ray or a CT or whatever the scan may be. You do your scan, you leave, image is just sent to the doctor, and then you know what's happening when you go back to the doctor. Patients having to be waiting around for X-rays to be processed, films to be processed. Sometimes processors are down. It's just longer waiting time. And it just makes the whole experience not a good experience. You understand? So I would like to see Jamaica get to that place where we are digital across all platforms and we can deliver optimum healthcare in a more efficient manner. Mind you, people still have a cost because that's just the nature of Jamaican people. They always are going to be impatient for something. But if we up our game a little bit, I think the people will be a bit more happy.
So would you say in foreign countries there's a better wait time or a better processing for healthcare?
Yes and no. I think what First World does is that they have more facilities, they have more resources, so they have a way of sectioning their patients. They basically filter their patients. So the urgent, non-urgent are kind of separated from each other.
Triage.
Yeah, so their triage system is much more smoother. It flows nicely. But guess what? You still have times when you have to wait long. Don't get it twisted, people. First World is not an express system where you come in and just get through right away. You still have times where you have to wait long. Because they are also suffering from staff shortages. So their waiting time is longer, not due to lack of resources though, but due to lack of staff, so human resource. So that's where the challenges come from First World, which a lot of people will be shocked when they move to First World and they experience these things. Because you think, wait, these countries are supposed to have optimum healthcare systems. It's not perfect, but it's better than what we have in Jamaica. That much I know for sure. And my final point, I wanted to experience a new culture. I was already sensitized to life in the UK. As I had said before, I did training there for a few months. So I experienced it for a little bit. I gravitated towards it. I wasn't always foreign-minded, but I liked my experience there. And I always told myself, this is somewhere I could see myself living, and I wanted to go back. And I feel as if there's lots of life to be lived outside of Jamaica. Don't limit yourselves, people. One of the reasons I wanted to go to England as well was I'm a huge football fan. I want to watch some football games in some stadium and experience a nice atmosphere and jump on a plane and go over Spain and them kind of things. So those experiences are added reasons as to why I wanted to experience this new culture. So people, if any of those reasons sound familiar to you, or resonate with you, or apply to you in any way, shape or form, let me know in the comments. Maybe it's time for you guys to take a leap of faith or make a change of some sort. Stay tuned for more content, as I'll be giving a bit more information about my journey during the migration and what was life like in the UK. If you're interested in seeing this content, subscribe, like, comment, let me know. Until next time, I'm out.